Shade Tree rebuild is buttoned up. Hello and welcome to ET Garage. I'm Eugene Tordo and this is the Shade Tree engine build. If you haven't been following my channel, this is a what I refer to as a Shade Tree engine build. It'll be a playlist, everything that's been done to this motor and the story behind it. And basically the story is, it was a I just picked up for the heck of it a Vortec block engine off of Facebook Marketplace. It was $100. I did a video on it. Maybe I'll leave links up here somewhere. And I just want to take it apart and see what kind of condition it is. When I bought it, I knew it had cracked heads. It had the cracked cast iron Vortec heads on it, and it had a bad rod bearing. So I took that all apart and went over and gave it the block a good cleaning and all that good stuff, and then it sat. Since then, I've had a bunch of parts laying around. I had these heads, which were the original heads to my 90 Corvette. They're 113 castings, angle plugs, D-port aluminum heads. I mildly ported them, and they've been rebuilt since then, and they flow around 223 on the intake at 500 lift, if you're wondering. The cam is a comp cam, roller cam. This is a roller block, one-piece seal roller block. And I have roller cam in it, roller lifters of course, and I had these roller tip rockers laying around and the push rods to go with them that were still in very good shape from other builds. So all that stuff went in here. I basically just honed it. New rings, the crankshaft. I did a video on that. I actually managed to polish it out and polish it out. It actually turned out pretty good. On my little 3-in-1 machine. I'll try and leave a link up there. This, to put everything together, the way it is now, I basically needed things like, it didn't have a timing cover or harmonic balancer. So I picked up a regular, the older style timing cover. They will fit on the Vortec blocks with the plastic cover. You just have to drill 2 extra holes. You're missing 2 holes for the old style, so you just drill them and you use the older style harmonic dampener. So that's what I have on here. Picked up this manifold for $40. These valve covers were all rusty and gooped up to hell. I went ahead and cleaned them up yesterday and just gave them a quick paint job. There's the plain Vortec stamped steel valve covers, center bolts. The manifold's a wind manifold. I did a video on that, and it'll be in the playlist. And I picked up this distributor. I can't remember what I paid for it. I didn't pay much if I bought it. It's a Pertronix flamethrower, I believe it is, yeah. And according to the guy who sold it to me on Facebook Marketplace, it's supposed to be good. Some time ago, I picked up this carburetor. This was a couple of years ago, I think now. This was a Rochester. And I was going to rebuild that and use it. And looking at it, it's pretty crusty. So I decided, I saw a really good deal on an Edelbrock 650 Carter AFB carburetor. I'm going to pick up a rebuild kit for this. The guy who sold it to me, and I got this cheap, $50, which is a great deal, I think, especially if it works. He said his brother rebuilt it, but he didn't do a very good job. So I'll go ahead and order a rebuild kit and go through it. So this way, when I do start this motor up, I don't have car problems. The only thing I'll have to do is, basically what I want to do is just start it up, get it to idle, and run it at around 2,000 RPM. Up and down to 2,000 RPM to break it in for about 20 minutes. Well, actually about 10 minutes. That's all you need to run a motor with a roller cam in it, is about 10 minutes just to seat the rings. I did do a leak down test on this. It was leak down test was pretty high, but then there's really no oil on the cylinder walls, and it was a cold motor, so I'm not worried about that. It was like 50% leak down. I'm not worried about that. After I seat the rings in and the engine is fully warm, I'll do a leak down test on it and worry about it then. But because these cylinders weren't rebored, they didn't have really any taper in them, and it would have been better to have them bored, of course, and they block decked, but I just did this old school re-ring job where you run a hone through it. There's no taper or ridge on them. The cylinders were actually in pretty good shape, except one cylinder had a groove in it, and I decided, well, I'm just going to go ahead. For what I'm doing, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I did prime the oiling system and hook up an oil gauge. With the drill running the oil priming tool, it made 80 psi, which is really good. That being said, that was cold oil, and it's 10W40 SAE Fram, cheapest oil I could get. And no, I'm not going to use any type of expensive break-in oil. Back in the old days, break-in oil didn't even exist. Now that's because back then oil had zinc in it and modern oils don't, or whatever you want to read. If this was a flat tapping cam, I probably would have sprung for the break-in oil. That I would have worried about, or at least added zinc to it, the zinc additive to it. Things I don't like about break-in oil is like if you watch Steve Morris, he did a couple of videos where he showed engines that they ended up rusting internally because they ran the break-in oil and then they broke them in with the break-in oil, and then they just let the motor sit. And break-in oil doesn't have any type of anti-corrosion additives in it. So those motors ended up rusting, brand new motors ended up rusting internally and had to be redone. I don't want that happening to this motor. If it does end up sitting for a while, I'll go ahead and pickle what they call pickle the cylinders by squirting oil in a spark plug hole and rotating the motor. I had a starter laying around, so I'm lucky there. I had the flex plate laying around, so that was good. And really, it's ready to go. Just to freshen up this carburetor. Oh, one other thing I need is get some type of exhaust manifolds on this. When I do run it on the stand, I want to try and pick up cheap muffler or mufflers and run it with the mufflers, because I don't want to sit there and wake up the whole neighborhood. Yeah, I'm doing it to disturb the whole neighborhood when I run it in. But hopefully this will be a good motor. It won't be what you call an ideal build, but that's why I call it a shade tree build. Back in the old days, we used to just build motors right out in our driveways and whatnot, and that was pretty common for people who did their own work on cars. And I've done a couple of that way, and they worked great. They ran great, and you didn't spend all sorts of money getting them a line board and decked and all that stuff. As long as the cylinders were good enough shape, you would just run a hone through them, re-ring them, and freshen up the seats a little bit on the valves, and throw them on and run them. This is actually a little bit better than that, I think, in my opinion. But we'll find out how good it turns out when I run it. So it's just a waiting game now. Like I said, I just got to get out there, pick up a set of exhaust manifolds. I can pick them up. Someone from Canada offered to send me some and ship them to me, and for the price of shipping from Canada to the U.S., and it'll probably get hit with some type of tariff or something. So I can pick them up local. I can pick up a set of cast iron exhaust manifolds cheap, like $15 each, local, no problem. So that's good. One thing I have to do is, when I start this, I'm going to have to hook up some type of gravity feed system or a fuel pump. I can't run a mechanical fuel pump because this year Vortec block did not have provisions for a mechanical pump. The casting is there, but it's not drilled for it, so you can't run a push rod, the pump push rod that would go on the older style small block Chevys. I'll have to get like a little one of those cheapest electric pump I can get, or gravity feed it. I only need to keep enough fuel in here, like I said, to run it to 2,000 RPM or so and break it in. So hopefully in a future video I'll have everything on here. I'm also going to make a bracket for this so it ain't bouncing all around when I run it, and all that good stuff. As far as for the coolant, when I run it on the engine stand, I'm going to probably fab up, instead of bolting a water pump to it, I'm just going to fab up a Y pipe, bolting in place of a water pump, and I'm going to hook that to my garden hose, and I'll run a thermostat on it and all that good stuff. So anyway, check back, subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff, and hopefully we'll see how this thing runs. Hopefully it won't be a smoker or any type of rod knock or spin a bearing or anything like that during break-in. In the meantime, everybody have a great day, and God bless.